Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing, Charles? You like my new shirt? Isn't that beautiful, man? One day I was sitting in my office, and this really nice local gentleman here that has a t-shirt shop, him and the owner of our building came in there and said, hey, there's some guy that immigrated to Canada. He really wants to help you. He said you helped him when he was trying to go to Canada, so he requested to bring us some shirts. So such good people, you know. It says on here, Widodanski Keroi is what it says, and it's from Voivodstvo Serbia. Voivodstvo Serbia. So it's wonderful, folks. Thank you, you know. It's good. I gotta lose like 2 pounds. Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 in my gut. I don't know. But anyway, such good people. It's almost warm enough to wear them here. You know, the weather's been phenomenal here. So you can't beat it. Anyway, let's get to this point here. We got to get busy. I got more questions. A young lady here wrote to me. Let me get to this. Hello, Charles. I'm an Ecuadorian girl that commented on one of your videos. You said I could write to you with my questions. Thank you in advance. I'm Lourdes. I'm from Ecuador. I'm a Latina on the other side of the world from Serbia. I'm happy that there are people like you trying to change the stereotypes the world has about Serbia. That's why I love your channel. So good news. Since I got the USA visa, I don't need Serbia visa anymore, thanks to a new law they established. So now I'm just concerned about customs, traditions, culture in general, of how different it would be from mine. I've asked my boyfriend, but it's best to have the opinion of a foreigner. I'm planning on going there in mid-July until September. My reason for the trip is visiting my boyfriend who is Serbian. He lives there. Long story short, we have a long-distance relationship, so he came last year to my country. Now it's my turn to go there. Don't ask me why I have chosen a boyfriend so far away. I don't even know why. Ha ha ha, but I love him, so I'm excited to get there. First question. How many Latinos are there in Serbia? When I deal with racism, my skin is darker than Serbian, so would it be noticed that I'm not from there? I heard some awful stories about racism against Ecuadorians in Italy and Spain, so I'm concerned in Serbia that might happen too. Okay, first question. How many Latinas and Latinos are in Serbia? You know, there's not very many. I lived in Mexico, as you know. I went to Mexico for the first time. I moved there in August of 2010, and I left in June of 2011, and then I moved here to Serbia, and then I was here for a year. Then I went back to Mexico for 6 months, and so I love Latin culture. I love Latinos, Latinas, wonderful people, great people, very similar traditions in Mexico. I don't know anything about Ecuador, but I know it's typically a Catholic country, and Latinas and Latinos are very, very similar, I'm sure. Family's important, friends are important, enjoying yourself's important. So I see a lot of similarities with Mexicans and Serbians, I really do. But you ask, would you deal with racism? You know, I don't think so. You know, this is one of the most commonly asked questions on almost every video that I get, be it from Arabs, be it from blacks, be it from, obviously, Latinas, is a question about racism. Everybody, when they thinks of Europe and in Eastern Europe, the Balkan region, this part of Europe, that people think of racism, and it's not really true here. You know, and I know because I talk to a lot of people. I'm white, but I talk to a lot of foreigners and a lot of most of my good friends here are all foreigners that I hang out with currently, and most of them are from different skin tones and such, and they don't have any problems, you know. There's not a huge Latino community. There's a big Brazilian community here, actually, and there's one guy I know from Ecuador, so I can get you his contact information. He goes to this school here in Novi Sad, and he's studying, I believe, in the English language division of the university. So you ask a question in a minute about that, so I can get you in touch with him, and I don't think you would have any issues here. You know, there's also a group of these traveling Indian dancers and musicians that come through here in Novi Sad. I made a video about them. I'll try to attach it to it, but I think they're from Peru. But they go through here, and then just really people look at them with interest is all it is. You would not suffer any of that. As I've stated in other videos, there's something here in Serbia called telenovelas. Actually, I think that's in Spanish, isn't it? But they're, you know, those Mexican soap operas, those Spanish soap operas, so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people that understand a little bit of Spanish because of that, and people would be interested in you. That's my answer, my dear. That's terrible. You have racism in Italy and Spain from Ecuadorians. I had no idea. My parents actually were talking about moving to Ecuador at one time when they're both retired now, and they were considering leaving because of the tax benefits and everything of Ecuador. So I was hoping they would, because I'd love to go down there and see. Anyway, next question. I know this question is asked a lot, but how safe is Serbia for women? Which parts of Belgrade and in Serbia in general are dangerous? You know, Serbia is not dangerous. There's very little that's dangerous here, and the only things that there are is maybe football matches. You know, that's the only time I would really see that you would have a danger. Other than that, there's really not anything. Especially if you're coming from, you know, a Latina background. A woman, I think, is extremely safe. You know, way safer than anywhere else, than even in Ecuador, in any Latin countries and Western countries. I mean, it's not safe. You know, here it's rare that you would see a rape or a violence like that, a robbery or something like that. I've heard there is some domestic abuse and things like that here, but just not when it comes to rape. I've got a ton of foreign women that I could get you in touch with so you could speak to them and find out for sure. Okay, because I can't really answer that being a woman, because I'm not a woman. I may look like one here, honey, but I'm not. Third, which places do you recommend me to visit? I'm very interested in learning about Serbian culture, history, and everything. You know what? I will get you a list. There's just too many things to say. You're coming in a great time of year. You said July until September. There's festival after festival that you can hit up in northern Serbia, down in South Serbia. History, you know, you've got to go to Niš, Srpska Mitrovica, Novi Sad, Fruška Gora's got lots of these old monasteries with famous things. Užice, down in Užice area, and, you know, everywhere. There's just something, you know, all over this place that you would need to see. Okay, and I can get you a better idea of what it would cost to go on some really, really good tours around that area. Okay? Fourth, difficult question. What can I do to get his parents to like me? How different are Serbian adults 40 to 60 years old from the younger generation? Is there a specific way to treat them? I don't know. Is there anything I shouldn't do in front of them? How conservative are they in general? Ugh. I've never had a problem with getting some of them to like me. And most of them don't speak English, so that's a given. Just try to say a few words in Serbian. Just be respectful and eat when they tell you to eat, maybe the ladies. Other than that, you know, I really don't even know what else to tell you. You're not going to have issues with them disliking you or looking down on you, I'm sure of that. Specific way to treat them, you know, say gospodine, gospođo. That's like a respectful term for sir and ma'am. Maybe just smile and enjoy yourself, and you'll make their day, you know. That's really all I can say. How they differ from the younger generation. Maybe a lot of the older people are a little bit more conservative. In general, probably you could say, especially in the smaller towns outside of Belgrade, people probably a little bit more conservative, but nothing you would have to worry about. They're just going to be honored probably that you show up here, that you come here, that you're interested in their son, daughter, or son, sorry, that you're interested in their son, and I'm sure they're just going to absolutely love ya. Is there anything I shouldn't do in front of them? I really don't know. I don't know the family. Just play it like you would in Ecuador. You know, if you go up to a new person you don't know's home, you don't treat them like that, because they're the same. You know, people here are so kind and honest and friendly. You won't have any issues. Should I buy travel insurance? You know, travel insurance is always a good thing. Travel insurance can save you, you know, a lot of money in case of certain things, and health insurance wise, you know, it's definitely worth it. I don't know how it is in Ecuador. I have no idea about your insurance, but I know in the USA, travel insurance is usually cheap You can get it for a few $100s, a decent policy with a decent deductible that can cover you for a lot of things. So it's always worth it. Me personally, I've never purchased it, so I don't know. You know, I've purchased a health policy, a medical policy, but I've never used it, knock on wood. But travel insurance, I've never bought travel insurance, and which is really silly because if something comes up and your flight's canceled, you're kind of screwed. But anyway, I probably would. One final question. Do you know if I can study a master's degree in psychology and English there? I'm finishing my degree in psychology and I want to study to get the master's one. Maybe scholarships program or paid. I'm interested in studying there You said education is very good and not expensive, and I'm even willing to learn Serbian to study there if I can get into a scholarship program. Sorry if I'm a long mail. I would be grateful if you could answer me. Thank you. Hope you are well. Blah, blah. You know, I don't know about psychology in the English language. I'm sure they do here in Novi Sad. I know in Novi Sad they offer a wide range of different degrees you can do in the English language, but you said you could possibly learn Serbian language. Like I stated, I said this in another video you probably watched because you watched that one. One of my best friends here, Shirar, he's the president of the Palestinian diaspora. He and all the Palestinians that come here, and there's numerous Palestinians because they had a good relationship, they can come here for free as long as they maintain good grades. And their first 6 months is they take an in-depth course. I just talked to Shirar this weekend because I went down and saw him. They take a 6-month course. It's very, very, como se dice, it's very, very intense, you could say. And, you know, he said that they're for 4 or 5 hours a day, they're studying Serbian language. They go through the basic grammar, get into different words, and now they speak like, you know, kings, you know. So that's always an option. It's very cheap. If you do the language course here, for the Palestinians, I don't know how it is for an Ecuadorian student or some regular person, I just know from the Palestinians. If they study English at this intense 6-month course in Belgrade, it's about 1,000 euros. When they go to Kragujevac, it's 350 euros. So it's a good deal, it's cheap, and it gives you an additional language to put under your belt. Somebody like me needs my ass kicked for not doing that, but hey, that's the way it is. I'm old and not going to last much longer probably, but that's a wonderful option for you because I know psychology is it's a common major here, and this Ecuadorian student, I don't know what he studies. I think it might be dentistry. I have not had the pleasure of meeting him personally, but I will get his contact information. I will ask my other buddies from Norway and Syria and them other guys about the psychology program here, get a little bit more info. I know here in the English language, the English university here in Novi Sad, it's about 3,000 or 4,000 euros a semester. In Kragujevac, which is a small city, 150,000 people, it's about 2,000 or 1,500, I can't remember now. So it's cheap, 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 but good. You know, they learn a lot, and if you're one kind of complaint that some of the students have said, the foreign students that come here and pay in these universities, not to put down Serbian universities like that, but they said a lot of the ones you pay for here, they just want you to pay, you know, so they're kind of easier on you, and, you know, they just want you to pass. I can't say that for every university, I don't know, I'm just saying that's what a couple of my friends told me. They said that they make it easy on them because they just want your money. But, you know, but you can get a good degree, good quality education if you study like you're supposed to. And that's really it, my dear. I hope you have a wonderful time. Before you come here, get a hold of me again if you have any additional questions. I'd be more than happy to assist you. And I wish I could have helped you a little bit more today, but coming from a woman asking questions about being a woman and going into these other things, I really don't know, and I wish I could have helped you. But it's awesome to have somebody from Ecuador interested in Serbia. Thank you so much. Prijatno doviđenja.